प्रतिबोधितां भगवतां नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिनां मध्ये महाभारतम्।
Krishna continues to explain step by step all these great qualities. As I was telling you, please don't try to practice these qualities separately, individually. The more you try to practice these qualities, more you will become schizophrenia, fighting with yourself. And do not try to practice these qualities. Just do something which will make you express these qualities in your life. Automatically you should become blissful. Automatically you should become free from anger. Automatically you should become person who is full of the dharmic qualities. By force, when you do, you always expect, including charity. When you do it out of force or social conditioning, because you are taught doing dharma, if you do because of some reason, be very clear, you will always be having trouble. Never do dana if you feel something is taken away from you. I always tell people, the word dana is wrong. Sharing, that's the right word. Sharing is the right word. Because you have enough, you just share with others. That's all. With word dana, you have always ego. I am higher, you are receiver. I am giving. But with sharing, the idea dana doesn't exist. I have it. I got it. Let us share. Somehow I got it. Let us share. Sharing is the attitude. Sharing is the right attitude. If you do it out of the concept I, even after doing charity, you will verify whether your name appeared in the plaque or not. Is there any spelling mistake or not? Is it right size or not? Is this less small font or big font? We will go around and verify. And be very clear, especially I have seen in India, in one tube light, they would have presented one tube light to a temple. In the tube light it will be written, Ramanathan son Somanathan, in the memory of his father, his mother who passed away, Saundarya Lakshmi, presented to this temple on such and such a date, in black paint they would have written. When you switch the light, you will see only black line on the wall. No light, only the black line. Raman Maharshi says beautifully, when you don't ask, you will be given. I always tell people, when you don't tell, I will tell. There are many people who they do many things for the ashram. When they don't tell, I tell them. I tell the whole world. You see, he did all these things. He did all these things. When they tell, I keep quiet. Who's telling will work? When they tell, I think, all right, they themselves are telling, why should I tell? When they don't say, I tell the world. Please understand, when you don't do out of the idea of I, naturally you will not feel something is taken away from you. Next thing, above all, you will feel the tremendous fulfillment. Anything should be done with the concept of you. When it is done with the idea of you, whatever you do will become like these beautiful qualities. Daivi Sambat. what Krishna says as Daivi Sampat. Understand? Even Yasoda had that small idea of I. Let me tell you a great story from Bhagavata. A great devotee called Tarangini. She is a devotee of Krishna. The other day, I was sitting with our chief priest, Nasim Bhattar. He was telling me the story, beautiful story. Of course, to tell you honestly, I never read this story. It is he who told me this story. And beautiful story. Let me tell you that story. It's such a wonderful expression of love. And exactly this I and you concept is expressed there. See, this Yasoda, from day one, within 24 hours of Krishna's birth, he was handed over to Yasoda. Within 24 hours, not even 24 hours, 12 hours. Because night he took birth, before the sunrise he was brought to Yasoda. He was brought this side. Because if the sun comes, then Kamsa will come in search of Krishna. Within 12 hours he reached Yasoda. Yasoda brought him up practically till he left Vrindavan. But when Yasoda asked him to sing or play the flute, this guy will not play. But this Tarangini, she is actually from a low caste, a suppressed caste. She is a great devotee of Krishna. Because she is from a lower community, she will not come in front of Krishna. She will stand in one corner and just enjoy. Just enjoy the Krishna's presence and his music or whatever he does, naughty things. She will stand in one corner and enjoy. Such a great devotee. Of course, whenever Krishna walks, once Krishna goes away, she will go and touch that feet dust. And one day, Krishna left the flute and went away. He forgot. Of course, he wouldn't have forgotten, he must be playing. That guy, you think he will forget? He will make others forget. And he will never forget anything. And he was playing a drama as if he left the flute and went away. She just sees the flute and she thinks, oh, Krishna has left it. I should take it and keep it in the house and hand it over to him properly. Nobody should take it away. Out of love and care, she takes that flute and keeps it in the house. And this fellow did not forget. Purposely he is playing that drama. Suddenly next day he says, somebody has taken away my flute. He starts searching. Or he is acting as if he is searching. Somehow he came to know that Tarangini is having that flute. She wanted to get that and give it to him. But he himself goes there. He himself goes, so he has to find some reason to go to that area now. Because that where the lower community people are living, the higher community people will not go there. If this guy goes without reason, Yasoda will ask, why did you go there? Why did you go to that area? Naturally, she will try to punish him. So he has to have some reason. So now he says, my flute is there, I have to go and pick it up. I have to go and pick it up. This guy goes and he sees that the area, it seems that Sukadeva beautifully explains, full of mud, the dirty roads, and a hut in which thousands of suns are shining. It means what? 1,000 hole. 1,000 hole. 1,000 holes are there in the hut. And this Krishna enters the house and asks, give me my flute. And she is just totally shaken. And she saw Krishna in her house. And she is not able to speak, she is not able to do anything. She is just overwhelmed. She runs and brings the flute and gives the flute to him. And this guy starts the next drama. Shall I play? Shall I play the flute? And naturally, who will say no? Who will say no? She says that even rishis, even the gods come down to listen to your music. and you are asking me permission, how can I say no? Play. And he sits there itself in the steps and starts playing. He is just playing. She is sitting there in one corner, completely filled with ecstasy. Suddenly, Yasoda appears there. Yasoda, you see, understand, Yasoda is shouting, what? How many times I ask you to play? I take care of you, I give you food, I do everything, but you fellow, you are not playing for me, and you are coming and playing here for this urgent girl. Understand, the attitude of Tarangini is you. The attitude of Yasoda is me. Because the Yasoda's attitude is me, whatever seva she did, everything else, no result. She enjoyed, that's all. But there's no result. And she shouts. Because of her shouting, the music is disturbed. Music is broken. That is why they say that raga is Punnaga Varali. Means that broken song, broken music, broken tune. Binna means in Sanskrit broken. And this tune is broken. Then Krishna says, you served me, yes, no doubt, but with the attitude of I, with the attitude of me. As long as I am your Krishna, but she is so devoted, not with the attitude of me, she is with the attitude of you. She is devoted to me, you are devoted to you. As long as I am your Krishna, you will take care of me. As long as I am your Krishna, you will take care of me. It means what? You are devoted to you. You are centered on you, not on me. That is why even 5 minutes of separation you are not able to digest. Possessiveness, instinct to possess. You have come here all the way. You are not giving even 5 minutes space for her. She never asked me that. She never asked me to come to her house. She never even expected I'll play for her. She is totally dedicated, only with one attitude of you. Then Krishna blesses us, blesses her. You will have the Samibhya Mukti, means you will become a Shanbaga flower and you will reside in my garland and you will stay with me forever. There are 4 muktis, 4 enlightenment. Salogya Mukti, Sarubhya Mukti, Samibhya Mukti, Sayujya Mukti. Salogya Mukti means you will be allowed to stay in the Vaikuntha. You will have one apartment in Vaikuntha. You will be given one apartment in Vaikuntha. That is Salogya Mukti. Sarubhya Mukti means you will have his own farm. You can see Jaya Vijaya. They will be standing exactly like Venkateshwara. They will have that same Sangha Chakra, same all the Ayudhas of Venkateshwara. That is called Sarubhya Mukti. Same Swarupa is given to them. Jaya and Vijaya, you can see the same way of Urtavundra, Shankha, Chakra and all the Ayudhas. Just as Venkateshwara has got, they will have. It is called Sarubhya Mukti. The next level, Samibhya Mukti, being in the inner circle. Being in the inner circle. Chakrathalva, the chakra which Vishnu is carrying, the disc which Vishnu is carrying, he has achieved Samibhya Mukti. Means the very near, close inner circle. And becoming himself enlightened is Sayujya Mukti. Sayujya Mukti. But Samibhya Mukti is the best thing because you can enjoy him. Like an ant enjoying the sugar candy. Becoming sugar candy is different. That is for all these rishis, Vedantis. That is for the rishis. But living very near to sugar candy and enjoying it. For the devotees, the ultimate state is Samibhya Mukti. So here, Krishna gives the Samibhya Mukti to her and blesses her. Let you have Samibhya Mukti. Let you become a flower in my garland and be in my body. Let you be on me. He blesses her. Then he turns towards Yasoda and says, because you serve just with the center of me, let you not have any temple on the planet Earth. She served so much. Have you seen a single Yashoda temple? No. Everywhere you will see Radha temple. In Vrindavan, if you go, Radha is much higher worship. Radha is worshipped more than Krishna. Throughout Vrindavan, even a milkman will say Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. They will say Radhe Radhe, not Krishna Krishna. Only Radhe Radhe. Throughout Vrindavan, only you will hear word Radha. Have you seen a single Yashoda's temple? No. Because whatever service she has done, yeah, okay, great. But she did with the attitude of I. Because of the I attitude, because she was centered on the I attitude, she is not able to achieve. This Tarangini, even though she is born in low community, in the suppressed community, she was never around Krishna. She was never near Krishna. She always will stand away in one corner. So humble. She has not done anything to Krishna. I don't think, of course, she will not be even allowed to serve Krishna because of her community. But just because she lived with the attitude of you, Krishna goes to her house and she goes and blesses her. She goes and gives her liberation. The people who live in the world, as long as they live with the attitude of I, even if the run behind divine will run away. When you have the attitude of you, even if you live in your hut, which has got 1,000 holes, you will see Krishna will be there in your steps waiting for you. In your steps waiting for you. There are thousands of stories we can tell. This wonderful story to express how the I drives the divine, you brings the divine. And it is just one attitude change, the cognitive shift, which took care of the whole thing. Let me tell you one more small story. It's again the fight between Shankha Chakra and Paduka. See, Vishnu has got a Shankha and Chakra and Padukas. One day, when he comes back after some picnic or dating, he comes back. Of course, Vishnu, you know, every day with one person he goes out. And he is a blissful energy. Not like Shiva sitting always in that old smashana, nothing to do. What to do? One or two old bulls are there, and nothing to see, nothing to enjoy. But Vaikuntha is totally different place. Vaikuntha is a fun place. And continuously dance goes on, and all variety foods are served, and everything is great. Vaikuntha is different. Vaikuntha atmosphere itself is different. And this Kailash, all these old fellows with a long beard sitting and always chanting Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah. How long you can hear? After 2-3 hours you will feel so bored. And you will ask for some entertainment. But here Vaikuntha is an entertaining place. And he comes back. He goes to his bedroom. He leaves the Padukas outside the room and goes to the bedroom to rest on his beautiful bed, the serpent bed, Adisesha. The Shankha and Chakra, they look at the Paduka and laugh at them. Laugh at the Paduka. See, you may carry Bhagavan whole day. When it comes to the room, you have to stay out, we will go near. You are not really at Samipya. We are the people who stay 24 hours with him. Night 12 hours you are out. So you have only half Samipya Mukti, not full Samipya Mukti. Only 12 hours when he comes out, he will be at his feet. When he goes to bed, only we will be there around him. We are having 100% Samipya Mukti. You are having only 50% Samipya Mukti. Then Paduka says, all right, what can be done? Whatever Bhagavan says, let that, whatever Bhagavan thinks, let it happen. Next day when Bhagavan comes, Paduka asks Bhagavan, Bhagavan, these two guys are making fun of me. The Shankha and Chakra are making fun of me. Is this really true that you are angry with me? And I have only 50% Samipya Mukti. Is it really true? Please tell me, what mistake did I do? Then Bhagavan laughs and tells, don't bother. Attitude at time doesn't mean that you are some important or you are not important or they are important. Attitude at time does not show favoritism. I have no favoritism. Let you understand, each one has got different place, different work, different things to do. Then Bhagavan says, by worshipping Sankha or Chakra you cannot get mukti. Only by worshipping you people can get mukti. They can have liberation, enlightenment only by worshipping the Paduka, not by worshipping Shankha or Chakra. See that? Chakra kills. Shankha declares the victory. That's all. By worshipping Shankha and Chakra you cannot get liberation. But by worshipping Padukas you can get liberation. Then Bhagavan says, they have their duty is different. Your duty is different. Your responsibility is different. Your place is different. Understand, the Shankha and Chakra cannot give enlightenment. Only you can give moksha. Only by holding you people can achieve moksha. Then he says, whatever is said and done, these guys have made fun of you. Let both of them take birth in the planet Earth and worship you for 14 years. Sankha and Chakra take birth as a Bharata and Shatrugna, worship the Paduka for 14 years in Ramayana. They come down as Shankha and Chakra, worship the Padukas for 14 years. Just because they made fun, 14 years, let them worship you. And understand, only you can liberate them. The Bharata and Shatrugna do Paduka Puja. 14 years, Paduka is only kept in the throne. And Shatrugna and Bharata, they do service to the Paduka. Paduka is the king. If you know the Ramayanam story, you know. In Ramayanam, both of them, Shankha and Chakra, the Bharata and Shatrugna, they both serve the Paduka and get the liberation. So understand, some may have some responsibility. Some may have different responsibility around the master. But if these guys think some are important, some are not important, the difficulty will be, there will be difficulty. The person who thinks he is important, he will be made to stand in front of a person who is considered as unimportant. Shankha and Chakra, they started thinking me. So, naturally they have to suffer. The Paduka says you. Naturally, it receives the worship. And then Bhagavan blesses. Let this Shankha and Chakra worship you and then have the liberation. Then they will never talk about you. So the centered, how we are centered, that is the thing really which makes your life demonic or divine. Divine or demon is only one concept, you and me. Now, the next sloka, Krishna says, Daivi sambat vimokshaya nibandaya surimata masucha sambatam daivim abhijatosi pandavaha. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandava, you are born with the divine qualities. Now, an important question when you heard so much about this you and me. Immediately next thought which comes in the mind is, Swamiji, I don't know whether I am working based on me concept or you concept. I am afraid whether I am demon or divine. Please guide me. Please tell me based on what quality I am working. That fear rises. And I tell you, if you have that fear, please be very clear, you are divine. The person who is ready to look into his mind, the person who is afraid whether I am living rightly or wrongly, will always live rightly. Person who is arrogant, only he will be demonic. The person who is demonic, asuri, will never have the idea, he will never even consider, am I doing right or wrong? For sure he knows, I am right. I am right. Here, Arjuna is also having that fear. Bhagavan, am I living with the divine nature or demon nature? He is not expressing, but the face shows. The face shows. And now Bhagavan expresses. He says, Daivi sampat vimokshaya nibandhaya asuri mata masucha sambatam daivim abhijadosi vantavaha. Transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation through transcendental qualities, through the divine qualities. Living with the attitude of you achieve the liberation, enlightenment, means nivritti. By living with the idea of I, you will start creating more bondage. The demonic qualities make for bondage, means pravritti. It starts the pravritti. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, please don't worry. You are born with the divine qualities, he assures. By hearing all these great words of I and you and me, in the gap time, the 10-15 minutes of gap time, if you really contemplated, am I living with you or am I living with I? How I am living? I don't know. Am I living with the demonic nature or divine nature? If you have contemplated, if you had the doubt, if you have suffered with a little fear, if you had a little bit of the fear or thinking, guilt, be very clear, you are born with the divine nature. If you think, no, I am living properly. Anyhow, I did not have any other entertainment, so I am sitting here and listening. Let him say whatever he wants to say. Anyhow, I have come, let me listen. If you are with that attitude, now you know what. If you have considered, if you have seen, at least once, if you look into your being, am I living with demonic nature? Am I living with divine nature? What is my nature? If you try to measure with the scale about you, your inner being, at least once, be very clear, you are Arjuna, you are in the position of Arjuna, be very clear, you are born with the divine qualities. Daivim abhijadosi pandavaha. He says, you are born with the divine qualities. Daivim abhijadosi. You are born with the Daivi, divine qualities, O Pandava, O son of Pandu. So if you are worried for a few minutes, listening after these words, now you don't have to worry, you are born with the divine qualities. That's a scale. Whenever a person who is dharmic, when he listens to these higher words, he always verifies once. Because he is centered on dharma. The people who are adharmic, even if they listen all these things, he speaks all these things as if he is living what he is living. Let us go and see how he is living. Then let us see what he is speaking is falling in tune with his ideas or not. Person who is divine tries to chisel himself, tries to correct himself. Person who is asuri tries to correct the others. With asuri sambat, he is holding the chisel and hammer in this way. With the divine sambat, he is holding the chisel and hammer in this way. When you carve yourself, you become God. So, here, if you chisel, if you look into yourself, be very clear, you are born with divine nature. Now, Arjuna has become matured. The moment he listens to these truths, he starts looking into his being. So, naturally, Krishna says, you are born with divine nature. Vaubhuda sargau loke Asmin daiva asura eva cha daivo vistara saprokta asuram partame shrunu. Partha, in this world, there are two kinds of created beings. One is called the divine and the other is demonic. I have already explained to you at the length of the divine qualities. Now understand demonic qualities also, so that you will understand and live your life blissfully and happily. He goes on explaining all the qualities of person who lives based on I. I don't think we need to understand all these qualities because we have already. There is no need to read all these qualities of a person who lives with I. Because we know enough of them. All we need to know is how to live with the attitude of you. Understand? When you live with the attitude of you completely forget you. You disappear into the existence. Let me give you a simple, one of the important technique. Even Krishna speaks about that. Just for 3 days, try. Think you are somebody else. You are somebody else. It may look funny what you are telling Swamiji. If you are a doctor, just for 3 days, when you have vacation, not on regular, when you are on profession, because I don't have praja means issues. Because I don't have issues, I myself do it for me. My Shraddha also, I am supposed to do it. So after the Shraddha, you have to lose your identity. You cannot carry your identity. If you are a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or accountant, whatever you may be earlier before sannyas, you have to lose your identity. For that, they will smash the whole body with ash. They will put the bhasma all over the body. And like a bhuta, they will put all the big Rudraksha malas. And all the identity should be lost and they should go for a begging. They should go for Madhugari Bhiksha. And they will not associate themselves with their identity. Completely they will break their identity. For 3 days they have to meditate, they are somebody else. 3 days they will break themselves from their old identity. Only if they pass in this meditation, if they are able to break completely from their identity, they will be given sannyas. It is called Bhuta Sarira Vasa. Means you live in the Bhuta Sarira, breaking away from all your past identity. Just simple 3 days. I am not asking you to become Bhutas. I am not asking you to take sannyas. Just try this meditation. 3 days, think yourself as somebody else. Whatever you think as your property, forget them. Whatever you think as your problems, throw them out. Whatever you think as your profession, throw them out. Just for 3 days. You can come back and pick it up, that is different. For 3 days, throw them away. You will see a new consciousness rising in you. New consciousness rising in you. If you just throw away the me, that itself liberates you. And if you start working based on you will experience tremendous bliss. When you drop me, you will experience peace. When you start working based on you will start experiencing bliss. Peace and bliss. When you drop the idea of me, you will have the peace. When you work for the idea of you, for others, you will have bliss. This is a straight path for peace and bliss. Here Krishna goes on explaining. Asatyam apradishtam de jagadahuranishwaram aparaspura sambhutam kimanyat kamahaitukam. He speaks about the qualities of the demonic nature. They think there is no ultimate energy, intelligence which is running this planet Earth, which is running this universe, and this whole thing is just produced out of lust and desire, that's all. They believe in material. Of course, modern day, even the scientists have started understanding and they are giving new concepts. Even they started speaking. There is a cosmic intelligence which is running the whole thing. It is not dead. It is not just matter and matter. They say world is not pure chemistry. People who think world is pure chemistry, they become demons. If you think the whole thing is just dead, naturally you try to acquire more and more by killing everybody. Hook or crook, right or wrong, do what you want. Only when you understand the whole thing is intelligence, it responds to your thoughts, your activities, you will start living properly or you will start really living. Small story. Group of scientists, little arrogant, who think that they can do anything and everything. They challenged God. They said, "Oh God, now you are not necessary. Whatever you do, we can also do." What do you say? You are creating human beings. We will also clone and create. What do you say? You create all the whatever is available in the planet Earth, the trees or all those things. Now we can also do all those things. Our department has developed everything. We can do anything. And here I am surprised. See the size of banana and see the size of fruits. All scientist creation. And the scientists have called God for an argument or competition. Come, face us. We will do whatever you do. Now better you go and rest. We don't need you anymore. God said, all right, let us face them. Both of them came and God created a plant. Immediately they also created the same tree in a much better way. And one by one, continuously they are doing. Suddenly God took little dust and created a man out of it. These guys said, that is not a big deal. Let us do. Now cloning has come. They took the dust and they were about to create a man. God said, stop. Bring your own dust and do. Bring your own dust and do. Don't do with my dust. So be very clear. Whatever you may achieve, wherever science may go, divine is alive. God exists. And there is a cosmic intelligence which runs the whole universe. You may create man out of dust, but from where will you get the dust? You cannot create dust. So be very clear. There is a pure intelligence and energy which exists. But people who are demonic, who are centered on I, and me, they think everything is me. They think the whole world is known to them. They think the whole logic and calculation of the world is known to them. They think, I know all the logic and calculation. This is the way things happen. This is the way it has to be done. They think they know everything. Person who thinks he knows everything, one simple thing should be done. He should be simply get married. You should get him married. Just put him in, just get him married. Then everything will become all right. And I have seen these young guys, when they come, these parents will force them to fall at my feet. I never like forcing somebody to fall at the feet. And these guys, if they don't want to fall, they can go. But they will not go. They will stand there and will ask me questions. Why should they fall at your feet? And I tell them, I am not telling. But their arrogance is so much. They will be asking all questions. I tell them, I am not asking you. Why should you stand here and argue? But their arrogance will not come down. Just for argument's sake, they will argue. In the mind, I used to think, let him get married. After 1 year when he comes, after the marriage, simply Sashtanga Namaskari. Because 1 year complete training happens. What we can't do in 10 years, 1 year training. Done. Whole thing is done. The fellow will simply fall flat, and now he knows how to listen. Now he knows how to listen. Completely will be polite. He will be polite and yes Swamiji, yes Swamiji, yes Swamiji. And now he knows the power of yes mantra. Power of yes mantra. Simply getting married. And that is what we should do. This Asuri people, nothing else needs to be done. Simply get them married. And all the Asuri qualities will disappear. Maybe, I think that is why God created this marriage idea. That is why He created the marriage idea. Anyhow, they say the world is unreal. The foundation, with no foundation, no God in control, they say it is produced of sex desire and purely by lust. Asatyam, apradishtam, jagadahuranishwaram, aparaspara sambhutam, kimanyat kama haitukam. Kama is the hetu. Hetu means reason. Kama is the hetu for the whole thing. Reason for the whole thing. Please be very clear. Kama cannot be reason for whole thing. It is intelligence which is reason for whole thing. The Shakti or the divine is the cause and effect of this whole Jagat. That is Karana and Karya. In both the level, it is divine which is responsible for the universe. But when you think the lust is responsible or just you are the responsible, you start thinking, you start working with one idea of me, me, me. Here, Krishna explains the same concept in a deeper way, and he gives a beautiful punchline. Chintam aparimeyancha pralayantam upasrita kamo babhoga parama etavaditi nischita asabhasas tatairvatta kama krodha parayana igande kama bhogartam anyodananda sanjayan. Taking the shelter of excessive anxiety that ends only with their death. Very clearly he says, the anxiety ends only with death. Some people, even at that time, it doesn't end. They will be waiting. I paid insurance and these guys are not putting proper casket. They are not putting the proper marble. I paid insurance. I paid so much of money for insurance, so much of insurance I paid. See, they are not putting sandwood bars. They are not putting these proper things. Even after that, the worry will not end for some people. That ends only with their death, engrossed in the satisfaction of desires, and regarding gratification of their desires as their sole objective in life, they believe in these bound in 100 loops of hopes, wholly occupied by lust and anger. They use immoral means, adharma, ihante, means to accumulate wealth for the satisfaction of their desires. These are all the qualities of demonic nature. Please understand, if you have any of these qualities, I am not asking you to change the qualities, change the attitude. Change the attitude. Otherwise, it is up to you. You can live as you want. And it is your responsibility. If you have any of these attitudes in your life, understand, change the being. This is time to start living with attitude of you, and experience the bliss. Let us pray to the ultimate energy, Parabrahma Krishna, the divine consciousness, to bless us all, experience the Daivi Sampat, divine qualities, and establish us in eternal bliss. Nityananda. Thank you. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Gamsa Chanoramardanam Devagi Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum